Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and variations thereupon. Good evening on this fine summer evening, afternoon, morning, dead of night, wherever you are. How's it going? Might jump scare. Might jump scare. Ooh. How are we, everyone? Ah, wonderful. Been a while. Been a while since I've streamed. Yeah, I've taken the very wise decision to wait to carry on with my on-stream Formicarium until the levels that I was about to do very slightly easier. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, waiting for that. All right, hi everyone. Hi, I'll just read a few names. Sorry if I miss you. Hi, Heolux. Hi, Maddie Walkeri, Ninja Star, Case Berry, Lacrete Creatura, Target Scotsman, Cap Smith, Secret Potato, I Like Rockets, Medin, Pipe Battles, Fran Discord, Martin, Suited Randomizer, Bread Like Gummy, I'm in Captain Spy, Average Height Human, The Ninja, I'm Arnima, hi, Big Tortoise, Piasek, David, Charlie, welcome all. Right, okay, let's talk about what we're doing today. Okay, so obviously it's been a little while since I've streamed, and yeah, part of that is we were busy as a team trying to get the most recent update done. 0.31, which is now out, so that's all good. Another part is genuinely the selfish reasoning of waiting until the level is slightly easier. Julian says GeForce Now support, please. That is in the works. That is in the works. It's out of our hands now. It's down to the lovely people at Nvidia to make that work, but the application has been submitted, and it's a case of waiting. Right, okay. What we are going to do today, yes, is I'm going to do 4.2. I'm going to do Bridge Too Far. I don't think I'm going to do Formicarium Challenge 4 today. I think I'm going to wait until the next stream for that. We'll come to that. We'll talk about that when we come to it. But I will probably, after I've done 4.2, if I complete it, we'll spend a bit of time just, you know, building up my Formicarium and doing a bit of work here and there. Okay. Right. Okay. But the other reason for this stream is because we've just had a pretty big update. And it's probably a good idea for me to just go through some questions from the community and talk about what happened in that update, what went well, what didn't go so well, what we're going to do to kind of to improve things, and what is coming next to be kind of part 2 of the interim update, the true interim update, if you've seen the roadmap. Right, so I think what we'll do is we'll spend maybe 15-20 minutes now just chatting at the start of the stream before we get going. And then I'll do the level, and then we'll spend a little bit longer after as well. So kind of I'm going to kind of rearrange my viewing experience here, so I've got my stream right in front of me. And I will try and answer questions as they come in. Please don't get frustrated if I happen to miss a question or if I can't answer it. There's only certain things I can say. I can't give everything away, obviously. But if I can answer your question, I will. And if I happen to not read it out first time and don't come back to it, Ask again politely, please. Yeah, but yeah, don't spam it either. Right, okay, so starting from now will be questions. So as they come up on the screen, I will try to answer them, and I'll talk a little bit as well as things come up about 0.31. Okay, right, so yeah. Can in free play you make the enemies fight each other when the setting is on? There is an issue with that at the moment. They should be fighting less than they used to. They won't just fight on sight anymore, but there is a bug that's been identified whereby they won't fight if patrols is turned on in creatures, but they will fight if individual creatures is turned on. And patrols is a new option for environmental creatures in free play, where enemies will walk a patrol route instead of just wander around aimlessly. So yeah, so that bug is, yes, thank you for the bug jokes. Yeah, that's why I usually use the word glitch, even though it is kind of archaic and sounds weird. I tend to use the word glitch to avoid the bug joke. Termites when in tier 5. What type of ant will be the last chapter of the game? Now that's just the rub, isn't it? Yeah, we'll be revealing that at some point in the not too distant future, but we haven't got an exact date for it yet. But that will be coming up. Why doesn't AI Colony build highways? Because they haven't been coded to. What about the bullet ant, Secret Potato? You have spammed that a few times? Is there going to be a new free play map? Yes, there's at least one. There's one that will be coming soonish, in the next few weeks, hopefully, to a couple of months, called Sandspit, which is kind of set up to be a 3 versus 1 sort of map, so the player versus 3 ally colonies, but you can run it in any configuration you like. And then later on, once we get the Fire Ant bridge building working properly in a custom game, then there is Wetlands, which is going to be the swamp theme one, which will accentuate bridge building. Yeah, that'll be its kind of main feature. Okay. Why did you nerf the amount of food you get from Devil's Coach Horse? We nerf the amount of food you get from all creatures that invade and are aggressive. And the reason for that is that once a colony reaches a tipping point in certain levels, particularly in the 2x levels, the player has nothing else to do. Any creature which invades the nest simply becomes free DoorDash. Yeah, free Grubhub straight to the nest, without the player having to do anything, because after the player gets a certain amount of a certain tipping point, then they just overwhelm any enemy that enters the nest, and the level is already won. And you could go for a walk and come back, and the level will have completed itself. And we didn't think that was very interactive, and not really much in the spirit of what we wanted the player to be playing like. So that's why all aggressive creatures and creatures across the board have had a food reworking. That it does mean the 4x level creatures have had a bit more food. Other creatures have had them brought back, but to balance that, there's more environmental food that you go and forage. Okay. Are bullet ants going to be in 5.1 and 5.2? No. The bullet ant will be a bonus species that you will be able to unlock after the end of the campaign. Just going to adjust my volume levels here. I notice I'm peaking a little on the microphone there. Apologies for that. Yeah, the bullet ants are a bonus species and will be unlockable after the campaign's finished, but they won't have their own levels. Yeah, Secret Potato, you are spamming a bit, so you're going to have to sit it out for a while. Yeah, don't do that. I said ask again, but respectfully, and don't spam, please. Thank you. Alright, just get back on track to where we were. Okay. Is it confirmed which ant species are in the 5x levels? It is not yet officially. No. Don't you just hate Russian players? What kind of a question is that? My man, my friend, you can't be saying that. there going to be any more levels like Hibernation where there is custom voice lines and music? Possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. Average height human is very, very intent on that thumb gag working for some reason. Will there ever be flying ants in the game? I don't think so, no. I don't think we're doing the reproductive part of the life cycle of ants. We'll concentrate on the foraging and facing ground-based dangers part of their lifespan. We'll be adding weaver ants? We will not. Weaver ants do not fit in our nesting systems, and they live in trees as well. Will you ever give the previous extra levels voice lines and music? No. Will the leaf cutter levels get a revamp in visual? Possibly. Maybe partially. Probably not fully, but maybe. At some point we do need to finish the project though and move on with tier 5. Are you guys working on any other textures like you did with the beach and log? No, not currently. Dan C, the environment artist, Dan Coates is currently working on tier 5. If wetlands are added, can an enemy ant walk on an enemy ant bridge? We would hope that enemy colonies will be able to use bridges as well. Yeah, Liam will put in a process to allow them to do that. Hopefully. You said previously that PvP will be included in a second. We didn't say that. No, I've said that a future project would concentrate on multiplayer. But yeah, Empires isn't getting multiplayer. Have you fixed the water being added to not yet. No. That's a shader issue. That's for Matt to look at some point. But it's not high on the priority list at the moment. Do you plan on making the rotting log themed maps? There's already a few. We could probably, we probably need to look back through the extra levels and change the tile set to the newer one. Yes, my bad then. Is this future project already in development? No, we are a team of 3 developers and 1 environment artist. We can only concentrate on one project at a time. Will scorpions be in tier 5? Yes, there will be scorpions in tier 5. Do you have a real ant colony in real life? I do not. The day before yesterday, we had thousands of flying ants in the town that I live in. However, I was not aware of it. I was just working, and when I went outside in the evening, 2 people that I passed said, "Did you see all the flying ants earlier?" Oh. I've got test tubes and everything. I missed them. Do you plan on bringing back some of the species that were shown in the Kickstarter video, like carpenter ants? No. The tier 5 focal species hasn't been announced yet, but no, the vast majority of those ants that you see in the early stuff will not be featuring in the final game. Now, as I've said many times before, we decided to cut down on quantity and increase quality, and that certainly paid off for us. We could churn out ant models all day every day, but those individual species need love given to them to make them worth playing. Have you ever thought about getting more developers? Of course we have. We've got to be careful about expanding too fast though. We've done okay with Empires of the Undergrowth, but if you expand too quick, then that success diminishes quite fast. I answered that one, Capsmith. We haven't fixed it yet, but it's a minor issue. It'll be fixed at some point. Red Like Official, why you kick me? Because you said, don't you hate Russian players? Don't do that. Is challenge mode for tier 4 going to be released before tier 5? Hopefully, yeah. Although it's not currently on the priority list, because the guys are kind of building some good momentum now on their work on the tier 5 levels, and they want to concentrate on that right now. So I don't blame them for kind of pushing that back a touch and then circling back round to it. So yeah, we absolutely intend to release the tier 4 challenge mode before tier 5 comes out, yeah, but it's not on the immediate horizon because they're currently just concentrating on tier 5. The estimated time tier 5 will arrive, we don't have one. As is our policy and always has been, we will give firm dates when we're certain we can meet them. But with such a small team and an ambitious project, and game development being really unpredictable as it is anyway, we'll just end up annoying people if we give estimates that we get wrong. I mean, you should see as a clue when the really big developers, only give their release dates, generally speaking, in quarters or even years earlier in their cycle. Even they can't always get it right. And you've seen recently how many big games get pushed back towards the end of their development cycle, right when the release date is going to happen. That happens all the time. Is there going to be seasonal hats in Empires like Halloween, March, or November? I don't know about seasonal hats, but we do intend to add more cosmetics. People like the cosmetics, yeah. So some hats, yeah, but perhaps some seasonal, but perhaps some other kinds of hats. Who knows? I think they'll be accessible from a little menu. Mike, will there be hornets or wasps in the game? I don't think there's going to be hornets, but there's already a wasp. Someone will tell you what it is. Can we have challenge mode creatures in free play? I would hope that we get round to doing that eventually, yeah. I don't know under what form they would be, but I hope that happens. Do you think there will be any DLC levels that will be added? Let's say a pack for extra levels. Maybe. The exact thing we're going to do after tier 5 and the game leaves early access and gets to version 1.0, the immediate thing we're going to do is have a little bit of a rest for a few days, and then we'll decide exactly where we want to go next. Correct, yeah, the guys have correctly pointed out that velvet ants are your wasp species. They're not actually ants. Mike, what's your favourite level in the game? It's 1-2. It's Subjugation, because it's a level I like the atmosphere, I like the music, I like that I can reliably complete it. So if I want to jump into a game of Empires to test something or get some footage or something, it tends to be that level. Will you begin 4-2 soon? Yeah, I'll get going at half past, Medin. I'll get going at half past, so another 10 minutes. That will have given us about half an hour of chin wagging before we start the level, and then we'll do a bit more after. Right, so yeah, guys, I'll take a few more questions, and then I'll just do a little bit of talk about how 0.31 release went and what's happening there. My favourite song is 1-2. My favourite song is the Subjugation music because I love the plucked strings. Are there going to be more free play maps besides Wetland and Sandpit before tier 5? Quite possibly. The bit on the roadmap that says new extra levels, I think we're going to divert some of our energy there to making not just new extra levels, but new free play maps too, because I think that's a bit more relevant as we approach the end of the project. Cold Blood best soundtrack. A lot of people really love the Cold Blood music. I know it's really different to most other, well, all other music in the game. And yet Liam knocked it out of the park again, despite him being a bit worried that he wasn't going to. Can't you add more people to your dev team so your projects come faster? We can, but people cost a lot of money. So we've got to be careful when we do that. We have added to the team in the past. I myself was only part-time. I'm now full-time. We had Dan C and Dan P are our marketing manager and our environment artist, the other way around. It's at a certain stage of the project we have to marketing is super important, but also developing is as well. And yeah, we have to be careful with it basically. But yeah, Dan C, our environment artist, is a full-time hire who was not an original team member. Will you be adding fungus or mites that kind of make the colony grow slower? Maybe it's a challenge. It's a fun idea, but I don't think there's plans for that at the moment. Do you plan on making a second variation of all your extra levels? I don't think so, no. One of the main reasons that John decided to do a sequel season for the previous extra levels was we could reuse the translations that we'd had done. So the all of the dialogue and text that had been translated for those levels could be reused, because it's a time-consuming process to get everything translated into. It's 11 languages we now support. So that was a good way of just bypassing that process. Will you be adding Asian Marauder ants? Not currently in the plans. Okay. I'll do a couple more questions. Can we have weaver ants? We cannot. Weaver ants live in trees and make conical nests out of leaves. They don't fit our systems. Someone should make a weaver ant game, though, but it's not Empires of the Undergrowth. Is there going to be a level where it's raining? Maybe, but we'd have to decide what we were doing there. I'd want the rain to be like a hazard, like a proper like bombs coming from the sky. Will modding be added, supported? Not in the plans at the moment. That Unreal Engine is not super conducive to that, but it's a non-zero possibility it could happen. Any updates on the achievements? They'll be coming fairly soon. If you read the newsletter that came last week or the week before, it was last week, wasn't it? Then you'll see that, yeah, a whole bunch of new achievements are fairly close to being done, and they should be arriving fairly soon. You make a level where you have to protect elite queens and kings until they fly out. Again, nice idea, but if we did something like that, we'd have to do a whole bunch of new systems. And generally speaking, the extra levels, the reason that they're viable to make is they reuse assets, and therefore are fairly quick to do. But yeah, we'd have to devise a whole system with winged ants then, which is unlikely to happen. In your opinion, as of right now, what has been the hardest level to complete in terms of complications and such? If you're talking like from a technical point of view, or do you mean from a gameplay point of view? From a technical point of view, I'd say it's probably 4-2. 4-2 is probably the trickiest one. The one I'm about to play. Just because there's a lot going on in that level. Right, okay, well, let's draw a line under the questions now, guys. Draw a line under the questions, and what I'll just do is talk for a couple of minutes about 0.31's release and what's going to be happening in the fairly near future. Right, okay, so as you'll have known if you've played free play or skirmish recently, we introduced a whole new AI system, and the AI can do a lot more stuff than it used to be able to do. At the same time, we changed the way that AI cheats. It gets fed resources over time instead of all arriving in one go. And that's kind of interrupted the way that cheating helps an AI colony progress fast now. We're kind of loath to go back to that that form of kind of AI cheating, because it didn't feel great. But it is clear that the new form of cheating is hampering somewhat how well AI colonies do. So there's going to be some changes that come up. Over the past week, I've gathered a whole bunch of feedback for Liam, and he's going to look at that and decide what tweaks can be made and new things added to it to improve the AI without spending another 6 months of development time on it. Because right now, like I said earlier, he is really getting stuck into tier 5 stuff and making good progress there, and all 3 of the main devs and indeed our environment artist are working on that at the moment, and they want to be working on that right now. They're motivated to do it, so he doesn't want to lose the momentum on that and come and spend another huge chunk of development time working on the AI again. So there's going to be some tweaks and a few changes that are carefully made, and probably some changes to cheats as well, to the way AI cheats, and hopefully that'll satiate people's need for competitive AI colonies in custom games until we can later on really nail it. But okay, how's my day going? It's going pretty well. Yes, it's nice weather today. Took the dog out for a walk earlier. Yeah, nice day. Hey Mike, it's me from Discord. Can you explain how the fishing spider, like you said, the fishing spider will hamper bridge building in some way or another? The exact details have not been discussed yet, and I haven't been given the go-ahead to talk about them yet either, so I can't talk about those. How's your summer been so far? Pretty good. My summer has been nice. Yeah. In a few weeks' time, I'll be going to Germany with the guys to go to Gamescom. So if there's anyone who happens to be in Cologne, nip into Gamescom and say hello to us. We'll all be there. We'll also be there with some of our other publishing projects. Robert, who makes Horticular, will be there. Who else is going to be there? Yeah, all the guys from Hooded Horse. I think Hooded Horse, who are our publishing partners, will be there as well, doing stuff. I think Paul, who does Adapt, will be there as well. Another one of our projects. Gamescom is in Cologne, in Germany. So, Helix, I believe you're a USA person, aren't you? Unless you've got a bit of money and time put aside for a trip to Germany, I don't think you'll be going. Okay, right. Let's get going, shall we? Let's get actually playing the game that we have spent so much time developing over the past several years. Okay, just booting it up. Rearrange my stuff slightly, move my OBS over to there. Okay, move to game. You're going to notice the game, OBS. The game is there. There we are. It did. Okay, right. I can still see chat while I'm playing. So I will come back on occasion to chat, but Empire's Undergrowth is an RTS, and I need to concentrate when I play RTSs. I'll try and talk while I'm doing it. If this was Doom, if we were playing Doom, I could chat all day. I'm good at the Twitch reflex games, but I have to think for strategies. Right. Okay, Stream Colony. Now, the last time we played, I think, was back in February or March. Someone will have to remind me. What difficulty are you doing? I am doing my playthrough on normal difficulty. Regular difficulty, because I am a regular difficulty player for strategy games. Medium difficulty. Regular, normal, down the center. Regular difficulty. So it actually makes me useful as a tester that I'm an average level player of this game. When they need early things testing, I'm not a bad candidate for it, because we do have a problem with balancing in that John and Liam are both very good at the game, and the way John tends to balance insane level difficulty is he tweaks the level until he thinks it's just out of his reach unless he really tries, which, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of that philosophy. I think that puts it out of the reach of most people. Yeah. Right, let's go. Let's go. I'll be playing with audio levels to get it kind of right as we go, so. Display subtitles on. I'm just seeing if there's stuff I've turned off for when I've recorded stuff. Everything else is okay.
This fire ant queen has travelled for miles on her nuptial flight, finally landing atop a sandy mound deep in the swamp. The vantage point might seem like an ideal home, but it may be short-lived. This whole area is liable to flooding, and nearby rainfall is already causing the groundwater to rise. Exhausted and without her wings, the queen is unable to move on alone. But if she can amass enough daughters in time, the colony as a whole may stand a chance.
The backseating policy, by the way, is feel free, but I probably won't read it.
A great blue skimmer, Libellula vibrans, hunts overhead. This fantastic aerial predator shouldn't cause any trouble for the ants. That is, unless it decides to land in their way. Food is abundant, but as the floodwater begins to rise, the ants will quickly lose access to the lower lands.
Yeah, the skimmer starts to fly as soon as you see it. Yeah, it's got a little trigger on when the camera's on it.
Many nearby creatures have already been washed out of their homes by the rising water. A lucky few have been deposited on the shores east of the nest. As more arrive, tensions will rise. There isn't space here for everyone.
The music in this level is so dramatic. Appropriate, though. Technically, you're able to kill the skimmer without it taking off, I guess? You cheated? Want to hatch everything now. No multiplayer in Empires of the Undergrowth. Its systems are not really well designed for a multiplayer game. It's full of choke points. we'd have to design a game from the ground up for multiplayer. It works for the theme of the game, but yeah, I think a lot of people, yeah, would find it's not just the technical challenge or even resources that are stopping us. It's kind of the game is not designed very well for multiplayer. So we may as well make a new project, and that's what we're going to do. Our next project will have multiplayer as a primary feature. At least that's the plan. Just build up a bunch of soldiers while we can. Yeah, remember, if anyone is wanting to ask me a question, you can chance your luck now and I might glance at it while I'm playing, but I'll be doing another session once the level's finished. But yeah, so if anyone has joined us a little later, I will be doing another bit of answering questions. I'm going to fill this entire area with soldiers, and then think about upgrading them. That we can get some of this stuff before the creatures attack. Yeah.
The colony is starving. There's
Time
not
to get
enough
underground.
food to feed the new brood.
Maybe get some of these guys out.
The boggy earth at the base of the mound is now saturated, and as night approaches, the water begins to creep closer. The new arrivals will rush to higher ground, heading straight for the nest. There is nowhere else to go.
I love that line. Adds real sense of urgency. They have no choice. Also, it gives good motivation for the creatures to be attacking the nest, unlike some of the earlier levels.
The queen is in imminent danger.
Alright, jumpy boys, settle down. Might wanna music volume up a tad. Right, we've got almost this full area now for soldiers. I'm going to start upgrading. Oh yeah, the slow coaches.
Amongst the melee of panicking creatures are larvae of the false bombardier beetle. Already large and accomplished predators, they will hold their ground against small groups of ants.
Should probably get some more workers soon. What can we get to? We've probably got enough to take on the mantid fly there if we need to.
An ant has fallen victim to a carnivorous plant.
The carnivorous plants. What a nuisance. Time for some Adam's Family inspired music here now.
And fewer creatures are washing up to the east. The ants have an opportunity to explore for food, but there are other dangers at night. Moist-skinned amphibians have come out to take advantage of this new water world, harvesting lost insects displaced from their burrows.
Has anyone else got a special loathing for the word moist?
The ants must defend themselves.
I really like this music. I use it in the vlogs when I can. Liam wasn't a fan of this, or at least he was worried about it.
An ant has found itself entangled on the sticky tentacle of a dwarf sundew. As it tries to struggle free, more tentacles are drawn in, drowning the victim in thick mucilage.
Do I know every detail about this game? Of course I don't. No one does. There are some departments that you don't work in. Well, I'd say the things that I don't really know much about are the kind of, you know, the management of the company, because that's down to the directors, John, Liam and Matt. That's up to them, who are also the developers. But the game itself, it's a fairly open development process, as in I can see everything that's being added. And I've got input, certainly, on balance, and it's my job as well as community manager to wrangle the feedback from the community. The guys want to be concentrating on development, so it's my job to, you know, make sure that opinions are being heard, and that there's things, you know, we're a small team. There's things we're going to miss. That's why we had to do the optional betas. That's really invaluable to us, and we've got a little focus group of testers from the community who are, you know, shout out to you guys, Sol and Nappy and Helix and a few others. You guys rock.
The ants must defend themselves.
Will this game be on Xbox? We hope so, yeah. Not while it's in early access, but we hope to do console versions once it's left early access. Because trying to update an early access game on a console is a nightmare. Probably. Do we want to try and get a... Can't do that yet. Water isn't high enough. Can we take on the tree frog? Have we got the resources to take on the tree frog? We probably have. We've got a few level 3s, so... Does it support controller? It does. The game does support controller. Fully customizable controller support on Steam.
A Pinewoods tree frog, Gila femoralis, has wandered into the trail.
Let's group up.
This one has taken a break from mate calling for a quick meal, and it seems that ants are on the menu. The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood.
Ah, not another. Oh yeah, the tree frog, by the way, it's been fixed recently. You can't climb it yet, and that's because its expanding throat pouch was causing problems with the climbing system. It was causing a crash that we didn't anticipate. So Matt's fixed that, and Dan P has rigged it. Yeah, Dan P, the marketing manager, has been doing a bit of dev work in the form of rigging creatures for climbing. We've all got involved to some extent. I've done some cinematic stuff. End of level animations and such like. There you go, we've got him to jump off at least. out of our way. What difficulties am I playing on? I'm just playing on normal difficulty. Medium difficulty. I'm a medium difficulty player. I find I get the most enjoyment out of this game on medium difficulty, which is kind of what it's intended to be for most players. I really appreciate you guys, you Insanonauts, who...
An ant has fallen victim to a carnivorous
want to play at the higher difficulties, but that's not me. If I want to play a game at really high difficulties, it's going to be a first-person shooter. Oh no, the water's rising now. Let's pull back. It's alright, I think we got there in time, no trouble. So the water's rising, so it's going to be... Which one is it? What's going to be open to us when it rises? We'll see. Should probably do a bit more underground exploring as well. Like, why you're not building hexagons? Because on this level, you just need a really high population, and if you're worrying about hexagons, then you're just going to drive yourself in knots. This level is all about numbers. Okay, let's get underground and excavate in some more of this stuff.
Rainfall is about to bring another torrent flushing through the bog, carrying with it a slew of ill-tempered arthropods.
What's my department? Marketing, technically. I'm community manager. Clear out all these, I think we'll be fine. We've got plenty of guys to, or girls technically, to clear out this area now. Mike, when will the Tier 5 announcement video be released? We were talking about this in our meeting recently. I don't know, it's going to be down to what the directors decide. But obviously we've got our publishing partners, Hooded Horse, now, and we probably want to get them involved with it. So they'll be part of that discussion.
There are intruders in the nest.
Why does someone visit the Queen instead of going to the pheromone marker? That's because the ants always form a trail. The Queen is just one end of that trail. It's not like StarCraft where you're directly controlling them. They form a trail.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. The The ants will fight to the death.
Mike Katie's Weetabix today. I remember those adverts. Are they still doing them? I don't watch television much.
The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood.
Yeah, I really should get some more workers now. So I'll do that. I'm being kind of supplied by, just by the lone workers. Actually, those guys can go over there. Right, well, we're going to get an invasion of creatures, including some faster beetles this time, aren't we? So, don't want to go too far from there. Yeah, I think we've probably just about got time to pick up this stuff, and then... Yeah, particularly with the vigorous ants being a bit faster. Yeah, no trouble. We'll come back here, just defend here for a minute, while the beetles attack us. Expand again.
Nowhere to drain, the floodwater creeps ever nearer to the nest. Already cramped and irritated, a panic ensues, and the refugees scramble for higher ground. The battle has begun.
Now we got the false bombardier before its spray went off. Nice. They do snowball quickly, do fire ants. Okay, what's available to us now? We get there? No. Here is available to us now. Hopefully we've got enough ants for that. Some workers and
The ants
all.
will fight to the death.
Cool, we'll feed that. Just get workers collecting that food while we try and go and get food from here. It is now open to us. Aphids that are available to us.
Ant has fallen victim to a carnivorous plant.
Build bridges. Yes, we've done it. Nice. Just keep that bridge there until we drained this 200 food. Right, so that's out of our reach now. Can't get that yet. We can do this though, so yeah, we'll go all the way across here to get the aphids. Okay, right. It's the time of the night where I need to go and visit the little streamer's room and get another ginger beer. So I'm just going to pause the game and leave you with the comedy stylings of a video Liam made of me many years ago while I go and sort myself out. So back in a couple of minutes.
Pills, some pills here, which is food, and we need to harvest that. Plenty, because there's a lot more food on this map. John quite rightly recognised that the other map was a bit stingy as far as food goes. So yeah, put food here. We need to define a tile. I think this area food made the other map a bit more challenging for our not everyone ants to store the food. So I'm just going to use this tool here. So I've got to be to create a larder. I want a bit more food before I come back here to. This is going to be the area that the ants store the food for us. I'm not going to lead a chamber directly to my queen because as soon as she's once they've done that, they'll start rearranging. Can't reproduce anymore. The pills. So now instead, I'm going to the trick to and this tunnel that's a little bit long maximum, so it's not directly to it. Is they're now storing in which you attack things like down here. I'm pretty sure is the mother loads get to this food. Once we start to come along and a bit more similarly the food as well. There's food there, but there's also great. So I'm not okay. And run in there. We're going to need a few more workers, not too many. I found in this demo we can get to before we can overdo it with the workers because workers are free to respawn. So, but if you look when I carry on put down a worker tile. I'm just cost 5 each. Enemies will try and run towards my corner. So I'm just gonna have maybe that many for now. Taking it back to the storage chambers, my worker chamber up here. I'm not sure about it. Along they come. There's no system to. I don't enter prepare the area to. So these are now come down here. Working one of these tiles, and then they'll come along to the queen. Grab a reliably informed. Grab an egg from her. I will pop them in the chamber, and then when these fellas hatch, or these ladies rather hatch, they'll be workers. Oh, look at that animation. So yeah, okay, we've got 7 workers, and I think we should probably. And she's a bit safer. It's like popcorn. It's very satisfying to watch. Because we've got some lovely and fresh-faced workers ready to our fellas to help us with our prestige underground domination. Then we'll go into battle. They'll immediately come and add new workers will come and prepare those soldiers to these black ant trials. But these won't hatch until the ant that's associated with that tile dies. And in this demo version.
News of the insect feast has spread across
Let's get
the
going.
swamp. With growing numbers of amphibians patrolling the waters, the Invictus
Right, okay, we've got everything there.
will need to be well defended.
Can't get there yet. That's now further out of our reach. Can't get over there until later. That's gone. We do at least have aphids now.
A colony of little black ants
Can we get there?
on a smaller section of the mound may be reachable if the fire ants join together
We
to
can.
bridge the
Let's see if we can take them out. I think we should be able to.
ant has fallen victim to a carnivorous plant. An eastern newt, Notophalmus viridations, is devouring ants. Growing up to 10 centimeters in length, it dwarfs other creatures on the mound. Its red skin is toxic and serves as a warning to potential predators.
Just ignore the toxicity, guys. Don't get yourself caught up with toxic behaviour. I like photo mode. Mike, can you say anything on tier 5? Yeah, sure. There will be termites. Kind of wrecked. Yeah, they kind of wrecked us. Yeah, I think we're going to have to come back another time. Yeah, I have to try next day for... Hello, Skimmer. Yeah, if you're not prepared for those little back amps, they'll get you. They will get you. Let's go across this way, actually.
The ants must fight.
Right, they're both exhausted their spray, the bombardiers now, so we're easy pickings. Although they did take out quite a few ants then. But it doesn't matter, we haven't wasted a bunch of food respawning, we've got them. They might just attack switch. I do know some stuff. More ants, more population. More ants equals more happy, says Brain. Mike, do you ever plan on having one of these types of streams on Discord at some point or no? I guess I could do, but the Discord... this is just... all the guys who want to watch from the Discord are here, and we get the larger subscriber count that we've got on YouTube here, so... I mean, I could, but why would I when I can just stream on YouTube instead for more people? The Discord gets the alerts when we go live on one of the platforms. Mike, will you ever keep an ant colony? Yeah, I'd like to keep a Lasius niger colony, which is the most common kind of street ant in the UK. And apparently, the day before yesterday was a great day to do that, but I worked through it and didn't notice. Right, what becomes available to us this day? Is it this? Oh no, that's already available to us. We've already been there, haven't we? We could probably have another go at the black ants, at the little black ants. Let's just clear all the food from here, up the population, make sure we've got a good store left. I think we've cleared out the underground completely now, we have. So we're going to have to get food from the surface from now on.
As the water draws ever nearer, more insects begin to wash up on the bank. The Invicta colony must maintain control or risk being overrun.
There's not really much point going over there now, so I'm going to make a run for the little black ants. We can't now. Not until the next day, of course. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to leave them be for a little while longer. A bit more food there. We can get these aphids now, though. Tomorrow for those.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected.
Nice. Another toad.
Intruders in the nest.
Yeah, we're going to have to deal with this, aren't we? What's the speedrun record for this level? "15 minutes? Someone from the ICS would know, wouldn't they? We can get this stuff now as well. Great. That's a big old supply of food there. This stuff has to wait until the next day. And then the little black ants are the next day as well. Yeah, so let's remember to do that when the water rises. Nice. Good stuff. Big old load of food coming tomorrow. Yeah. Let's just got what we can for now. Rise that population. Right, what's your favourite OST? 1-2. Subjugation. Pluck string sound awesome. Oh no, the carnivorous plants. No. Pull back, pull back. Right,
Again,
water
the
rising, so we'll
floodwaters
get a
rise.
bunch
The
of new
lost
food. We should
dragons
just go
efforts
here.
Panic, and a stampede ensues. The Invicta soldiers must form ranks quickly.
Yeah, I like Helix's videos. I think they're great. They flow well, get across their idea nicely, and it's funny to watch him fail his deathless runs repeatedly. And knowing that will never be me, because I would not attempt it. Okay. Is it this one? It's gotta be now, yeah? No. We can go for the little black ants now, though. Which will give plenty. And we've got 123 fire ants now. It should do us. But we will lose a bunch of them to the bridging, obviously. We'll see. Thanks for joining us, IS Ants. See you next time. We can get here. This is easier. This is easier than the little black ants. We can stock up first. Turn off food collection while we get over there so we don't get got by the... Great. Yeah, I've gotten so used to using these janky screenshot mode controls and doing various trailers and promotional stuff. Is it true that thermites are going to be added? I'm not sure if a mix of iron filings and rust is really necessary. Termites, you mean? Yes, termites, of course, yeah, are going to be in tier 5 in some capacity. Hey, Mike, with the photo blur, will the photo mode will there be a background blur feature? Yeah, you mean depth of field. I've been meaning to do something like that for a while. There are cinematic cameras built into Unreal Engine. We use them in the cutscenes, and I use them in marketing all the time.
The Monomorium black ant colony is soon to be flooded. This
yeah,
is
it's time to attack the Monomoriums.
To raid their nest.
Turn off food collection. And just go for the fighting. See ya. Can you give any hints at new species that will be added? I can't. Until I've had a discussion with the guys, I can't give any hints. They will tell me when I'm allowed to talk about stuff.
The little black ants have been defeated. The fire ants must pillage the nest quickly and hurry home while they still can.
Food. Turn it on. Nearly forgot then. Go back and build. More population, more ants equals more happy, says Brain.
As if
The skimmer's
colony
here.
didn't already have enough to deal with, the great
We'll have a go at the skimmer
has
once we've
chosen
cleared out this
fixed
nest as much as we
moments
can.
to touch down right outside the nest. Unchecked, this titan of the sky will no doubt disrupt colony activities. But if the soldiers are able to bring her down, the rewards could be mighty.
Mighty rewards, you say? You have my interest. Let's bring the big ones home first, I guess. Frogs. Frogs in the way. Tree frogs. Mike, how long have you worked for Slug Disco? Since 2017. How did you get recruited? One of the developers and founders, John, is my brother. And they were going to... they were, in fact, getting prepared to put out a job application for a community manager. For an Ant-Bassador, as they called it in their hilarious gamer speak. But it turns out I was doing that anyway, because I was helping them out as best as I could, because John's my brother, by going onto comments and kind of spreading word about the game, you know, going to comment sections, helping people with technical problems, all that. So the guys kind of realised, you know what, Mike's kind of doing that. Should we offer him the job? And there was a few formalities to get through, and I had to decide, because I was working a full-time job elsewhere at the time, and I think it's honestly the best thing I ever did. It's time to go. It's time to go. Should we take out the skimmer
ants must
first?
fight.
Let's take out the skimmer just for the fun of it.
After a sustained assault from the fire ants, the skimmer's stamina is beginning to wane. She leaps away from battle and prepares to take off. If the ants want to prevent her escape,
Come here, you.
act quickly.
Fun fact, we've made a mistake here. It's only the male skimmers that look like this, but we refer to it as a she here. Not that it really matters
Her
that
wings
much.
weighted down
No!
with fire ants. The skimmer no longer has the strength to take off.
Oh, that's easy. Maybe we can finish her off as we're winning. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much the gender of the creatures, really. I don't think the creatures are going to mind, but it is a small issue we should probably correct at some point. Nice.
By joining their bodies together to form a giant raft, the fire ants were able to ferry the queen from the mound just as the nest filled with water. Their perils are not over, but they've shown great resilience and an ability to survive in this harsh environment. Wherever they land, the creatures of the swamp will quickly come to know the might of the fire ants.
So proud. So proud. Yeah, that little cutscene at the end there was a wonderful collaboration between three people. Between Matt, who designed the little raft gadget that builds rafts full of ants. Between myself, who designed the camera move and the animation of the queen. And Liam, who added the extra creatures that are spawned for fighting. And the queen's little friend, the queen's little mate, who follows her and kind of encourages her to go on. So that me, Liam, and Matt all worked together on this cutscene. I also added the debris floating down river, which I thought was a nice little way of implying that the flood was, you know, dangerous and you got away just in time. Wonderful. Superb. Jelly or food? Jelly or food? I think I'll go for the extra food this time. Just for fun. Alright, okay, great. So I'll spend a little bit of time doing some Formicarium chores.
Eat hearty, grow strong. The work will continue soon.
Hello?
Shh.
Oh, it's you. Is something wrong?
No.
No. Ah, right. Okay. That's that done. 4-2 is finally ticked off the list in this this run. There's just Formicarium Challenge 4 to go. But that's probably going to be for next time. But I'm not going to end the stream just yet. I'll stay around until 9, we'll say. So another 35 minutes. We'll have a chat about stuff. And I'll just, while we're doing that, I will do Formicarium chores. I'll build up some stuff and prepare for next time. Mike, can you give a theory of the Formicarium? In my mind, the whole... You mean the whole setting? Yes. This is, in my mind, an independent laboratory which exists on one of the islands off the coast of the UK, probably the Isle of Man or the Isle of Wight, so away from the mainland and kind of away from prying eyes a bit. Maybe on one of the Channel Islands, which are British territories, but not technically part of Great Britain, of the United Kingdom. But there's this mysterious subject which has been discovered, called that they're calling jelly or royal jelly, but it's not actually royal jelly. It's a mysterious subject of unknown origin, and we don't know where it's come from. Well, they are studying it. They've been contracted to study it clandestinely, so secretly, by a benefactor, a rich benefactor of some kind. And our scientist here, our main scientist, our male scientist, has started to realise that there's more going on to this jelly than with this jelly than just the ability for it to bring DNA together in a weird way. He's starting to have ideas, and yeah. I believe the ultimate aim of this science experiment is to find a fast way to do gene splicing, which, as we know, is genetic engineering. It takes huge amounts of research and expertise to do, but gene therapy is a thing, and that's ultimately what the hope, I think, of the scientists here is developing new gene therapies. But our lab technician here in the male scientist has his own ideas, and he's not entirely yet stable, is he? Okay. So let's make some more chambers. Okay, are you based in the UK? I am. Our entire team is UK based with the exception of Matt, who lives in Germany. And we've got 2 community managers for the Chinese community on Bilibili and Baidu and various other places. But they don't live in China, they live in Canada. But yeah, so we are an international team, but mainly UK based. And yeah, all of our main team members are English. Will wood ants be able to shoot up or down cliffs? I think I don't know. I don't think there's any technical reason why they couldn't. Imagine if Scientist 2 is smarter than we thought. Well, you know, he's a scientist. I think you can be smart and a little bit unhinged at the same time. I think that's certainly a thing. Will Colobopsis trinata had to be added? Almost certainly not. I'd have to look at what they are. Do you prefer Tally-Ho Tubers, chiptune or jazz? I must admit to having a soft spot for the chiptune, but the jazz is great as well, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use the jazz when I do the vlog in a few weeks, with his permission. He said that's okay. Why aren't trapjaws in free play? A colony of them was in a level with workers and the Queen. That level though was kind of a non-reality based level. We can play a bit fast and footloose with reality in the extra levels because they're not canon really. But trapjaw colonies in real life, there's not much difference between the Queen and a worker, and they don't form big pheromone trails. They tend to be lone hunters or in small groups, so they don't really work in our kind of control systems. And not really in our nesting social structure. But, you know, we can get away with it for an extra level. Because, you know, it's an extra level. Is it just for fire ants or will other ants? No, that's fire ants' unique ability that they can support more than one ant on a tile. That is an ability unique to fire ants. Do you like Cuphead music? I've watched some streamers play Cuphead. I've never played it myself. I can't recall what the music is like. Oldie-timey and gramophone-y, I guess. I hope our Reptor colony will be able to escape the wild test by the crazy scientist man. Well, we'll have to find out in Tier 5, won't we? Tier 5 is going to be fun. Will there be a Titan creature in Tier 5? I'm just going back over some earlier questions. Yes. Yes, there will be more Titans in Tier 5. More very large creatures in Tier 5. Okay, let's make a few other chambers. How much territory? I got plenty for now. Make some wood ants. Go to the Royal Jelly menu. What have I not got yet? I'm going to go for Vigorous Ants, I think. Definitely consider the... Sure-footed or evasive? I'll let you guys decide the unit options for me here. What do we want? Sure-footed or evasive? Or last stand and last laugh? Sure-footed? Okay, let's get sure-footed. and then Last Laugh. Last Laugh is certainly better than Last Stand, I think, yeah. Let's go for that. Cool. Got those fully upgraded. We'll spend any extra jelly we've got on a few minor upgrades when the time comes. Probably save that for next stream, though. Will there be an option to make your own Ereptor combinations? There's been a lot of requests for that. We'd have to rethink the reward for completing the other foot. Maybe the reward for completing the other foot can be changed from the counterpart colony to just an Ereptor editor. We'll see. But yeah, it's a lot of people ask for that, so it's on the list to happen eventually, I think. I'll have to talk to John about it. Not definitely, though. This is all speculative. Ultimately, it's not me that decides what gets done. The guys have to prioritise. Will you ever have more Ereptor colours? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, we have done already a couple of times. Will we have proper first-person, easy-to-use camera controls in camera mode? I don't know. John put some time into the photo mode because he knew it would be great for people uploading screenshots to Steam and for marketing, and it has been. But the controls were by necessary fairly limited. I mean, he didn't want to have to make a whole first-person system for it because it takes a bit more thought than you'd think doing that. I mean, Unreal has some built-in stuff, but it's not just drag and drop. But I would like to expand photo mode a bit more myself. Yeah, we could do with depth of field options and stuff like that. Oh, I forgot my button. There'll be multiple queen ant colonies? No, not in this game. We're pretty committed to just keeping with the quite simple one queen, one dungeon heart thing. Favourite brood tile. I like the leaf gutter ones. Yeah. Speaking of which, let's put down some mages while I'm thinking about it. I think they're meant to look a little bit like, you know, specks of mould or lichen. Should make a chamber for fire ants, really. This way from the queen. Nice big chamber for fire ants. Mike, will there ever be a beach night theme? I think Liam said that he'd added it to his list when he was chatting to someone on the Discord. Whether that happens or not is another matter. But he's aware that people want that. Mike, please, I'm begging for more info on termites. What's the name of the species? Someone else could probably tell you, but it's not the one that we said in the Kickstarter. We changed it. Someone will tell you, I'm sure, if I don't find it. faster. Is it Macrotermes bellicosus? I think it might be them. The big ones. I mean, termites are not very big creatures themselves outside of their, you know, the queen. But yeah, we went for the largest ones because, yeah, they're easier to see. Termites tend to be quite small. I mean, some of the creatures we have in the game already have been scaled up from what they actually are in nature because it makes them easier to see. When will the 0.31 update arrive to the free version, please? I don't think it will, Adam. We're always wary about what we put in the free version in the demo. I don't think we'll be adding things like creature climbing to the demo. Favorite seed colour? Yellow. Why not? Okay, let's put some Solenopsis invicta down. Scientist should give us a line.
Solenopsis invicta. Interesting presentation. Fully functional stinger, too. Marvelous.
What's marvelous?
Oh, my sandwich. Yes, it came with an unusually generous dab of fiery pepper sauce.
How many times have I told you? No food in the lab.
Yes, okay, fine, I'm going.
It's kind of crazy. There's no way, you know, no snowball's chance in hell that you would ever allow a sandwich just to be, you know, in a laboratory setting. Absolutely not. Yes, clearly they're a bit lax on some standards here. I think the lack of oversight has kind of made them a bit complacent. Well, they let this guy through. Mike, favourite sandwich type? It's the kind of question I can get behind. What's wrong with a good classic BLT? I had a bacon sandwich for breakfast this morning. Now, I don't think we're going to activate nest invasions in Queen of the Hill. I think we'd rather have the player concentrating on what the narrator is saying than trying to get into the player's nest there, into the enemy's nests. Will there be more ant species added after version 1.0? Maybe. We have to decide what we do when we get there. I mean, do we want to do the DLC route? Do we want to just move on to another project? Or do we want to just keep doing things like extra levels? And free play maps? We'll see. I mean, we will move on to the other project, the next project, eventually anyway. But when that happens remains to be seen. But we're not going to stop supporting Empires. Empires will... It's always been will always be our first game and always be our baby. And we'll always be looking to add bug fixes and improvements and the occasional extra level and free play level and things. Which is the next project? It has not been announced yet. We will announce it after the full release of Empires. But apart from some preliminary research into what engine we'll be using, we've not done work on that project yet. We're still very much concentrating on this. And a little insider scoop, I guess I can say that. Unless things change, the next project will be done in Unreal Engine 5. Why wouldn't it be? We're familiar with Unreal Engine. What's your favourite EotU ant species? I think I think I've said this before. Yeah, it's the trapjaws. I like how they jump back. I think it's a useful. I think it's a clever amalgamation of what they do in real life with game mechanics. They do use their jaws to fling themselves back in real life, and it made sense, from a gameplay point of view, to give them a little health bonus when they do that. Yeah, so I think it's a nice little combination of reality and gamification. Was the word. If you've got buff ideas, join our Discord or join the discussions on Steam and talk about balance there. My favourite real life ant? I went to AntCon back in May. The video's up on YouTube if you want to have a look. I took my camera with me and made a little video and edited it. And the Asian marauder ants were fascinating because the difference in size between the small workers and the super majors was huge, much bigger than the difference between the equivalent in the big-headed ants or leafcutters in Empires of the Undergrowth. But they were fascinating and they had a really big colony. Will you be at the 2024 AntCon? Yeah, I think we'd all like to be at AntCon 2024. We all had a great time. Sadly, Matt got ill during it, but that wasn't AntCon's fault. So he had to spend a lot of time in his hotel room. But we'd like to make it a company-wide event if we can to go. So I think next year we'll be seeing if we can convince a few more of the guys to come along. But I really enjoyed it. And it gave me a great opportunity to test my videography skills, and now I've got this. I mentioned in the video that I should get a decent macro lens for doing videos and photos of ants, and I have. This is a 2x magnification macro lens for my Sony camera, and if you're a member of the Discord, you will probably have seen me posting some pictures I've taken with this already. But I've got this specifically for AntCon. Yeah, so I can get nice high magnification, close-up video and photos of ants. Will there be a visual quality update? There's already been several. I mean, at some point we've got to finish the gaming and release it. If we could just constantly updating, it'll be like, painting the Golden Gate Bridge. We'll never finish. Oh, congratulations to your pet queen ant. About to have her first hatchling. Expand this and get a few more majors. Fine for territory. I think I'll get a few more. Spitters as well. Will you ever add a legacy mode so players can see the old wolf, spider, tiger, beetle? No, that's... that would be very much a nice to have, but it would be low down on the list of nice to haves. I would like to know how the termite colony would look like, because I know they like to make tunnels on top of surfaces sometimes. You're going to have to wait. I have no authorization to tell you how they're going to work or function just yet. After 1.0, do you guys give an ant editor maker to the community to make their own ant species and levels for themselves or others? You're talking about mods, basically. At the moment, we've not put much research into mods, but Unreal Engine 4 doesn't make it super easy, whereas a game engine like Unity is much easier to mod. But the answer is maybe. A non-zero chance, but... yeah, we are a small team, and proper mod support, like... oh, hang on, I should get rid of that. Don't need that. Proper mod support that's, you know, worthwhile, and is properly supported is a big undertaking. For a team that's... for a team that's just 4 developers, you know, it's a huge undertaking. Why not add the ability to invade the nest in Queen of the Hill? To be honest, it's too much too soon. It's the same reason we don't have creature climbing in the 1x levels. It's too much too soon. You have to think from the point of view of a new player who's coming to the game. They need to be fed new systems over time. Okay, I think we've collected all the food. I think what I'll do... yeah, and I've spent it all. What I'll do in the next stream is probably do one of the earlier levels on challenge mode for some extra resources, and then we'll do Formicarium Challenge 4. Cool. Collected almost all the food. There's a few grubs knocking around. I guess I'll go after those. Will the termites be playable? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, they'll have some different systems from the ants, kind of in how they work. So maybe they'll find their way into custom games. Don't know yet. But yeah, they're not the focal species for Tier 5. We haven't announced that yet. Right. Okay. I'll save the Formicarium and close the game. Nice. Okay. Bit of background music again, just for the last 10 minutes before we finish. Bring my OBS back here so I can see a bit easier. Now that I'm done playing. Splendid. Is the Tier 5 desert themed? It is not. Honey potants will be added? No. Honey potants are not planned. Mike, will you be at Ancon 2024? I may come. I think so, yeah. But if you make your way to Carmarthen in Wales, then yes, we're likely to be there in 2024. Will Battle Arena ever get a surface map for the skimmer? Maybe. There's a surface brawl map that we use internally for marketing. So it's certainly possible. Maybe is the answer there. How long do you think it's going to be for the game to get out of beta? If I put estimates now, then I'm just going to be eating my words when we do come out. So I'm not going to do estimates. It is our policy not to. Hey, did my Starfield thing turn off? Hang on. Oh. Wonder when that happened. Hey Mike, do you prefer a more relaxed play style? I know you prefer a more relaxed play style, but do you think the 3-2 speed run to quickly collect extra resources next stream? No. No, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. I think I'd rather just do one of the levels, properly. Not that a speedrun isn't a proper way to do a level, it's just, not what I enjoy playing. Have you ever seen any of my videos? Probably. Yeah, I do search for Empires of the Undergrowth on occasion and see what people are putting up. If you were to add a new type of the game, what type would it be? I guess I'd add Weaver Ants just so people could shut up about it. That was mean of me. No, I didn't mean that. Are big spiders like the tarantula going to be in tier 5? We like our spiders, I'll put it that way. You can expect some more spiders and other arachnids in tier 5. I think that's fair to say. I don't think that's much of a spoiler really, given the game that we're making. Since every tier has had spiders. What other games do you play? Recently I have played Diablo 4. Me and John and Liam and Matt played that. I'm a first-person shooter guy myself, though. That's the kind of stuff I like to play. So, my favourite game of all time is Doom Eternal, which I still jump into on occasion just to shoot some demons. Mike, can you play a Tally Ho Tuba song for the last few minutes? Not this time. I've got my setup quite well oiled. It works with my playlist working for the stream. I'll pop in Tally Ho Tuba stuff next time. Will EotU be multiplayer? It will not. It will not. Will the largest ant on Earth be added? What is the largest ant on Earth? It's not bullet ants, is it? Because bullet ants are going to come, but then they're not going to be a tiered ant themselves. They're going to just be a bonus species that you can add to the Formicarium for use in custom games and in New Game Plus, which is a thing we're going to do. EotU will not be multiplayer, local or online, no. Will there be new normal ant landmarks in tier 5? What do you mean by that, Diego? Do you prefer the bullfrog or the skimmer? I think I prefer the bullfrog, but that's just a personal thing because that shot in the fire ant trailer that circles around the bullfrog is mine. I did that, and I'm quite proud of it. Are you guys saying Scorpion's going to be added? Yes, there's going to be Scorpions. You can actually see a little outline of a scorpion on the road map, if you look at it. Someone will probably link you to it. But the roadmap is on our newsletters, and if you go to the Steam forums, it's linked at the top. But most of the roadmap's been filled now. In November, I'll be doing another one. I said I'd update the roadmap every 6 months, but I also said that by giving that stipulation, hopefully I don't have to update it very many more times. If you've got bug reports, come to our Discord or forums and post there. Well, yeah, that's the place to put it. I've got no chance of remembering anything from a stream. Cheers for hanging out, peeps. See you next time. If only the AI and Babysitter had the new AI. I have to explain this to people. There's a reason that map is called Babysitting. John originally titled that map Brood Sisters. But I remember saying to him, it's like babysitting, because the whole idea of the map was that you have to look after this really stupid sister. So he thought, yeah, you know what, that is a more appropriate name. So he changed it to Babysitting. So people get frustrated with it, but it's not an intelligent colony, and it's not intended to be. You have to protect it from everything. It's the point of the level. And we hoped that the name would be the clue. The actual Sway, or SWE, thanks for hanging out. See ya. See ya, JD Sunju. Had mealworms. What, like the dried ones you get for feeding birds and things? Besides being a community manager and a trail person in EotU, trailer person, what do you do? I do lots of things, but I am the community manager. That is my full-time job. That is what I'm employed to do. So you're Gummy, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to be ending in just 1 minute. When the clock turns 9, we will end it. See you, Jurassic. Will there be birds? No. Matt did want to do a bird, but at that point his time was better spent elsewhere. But no, we're not going to put birds in. Mike, have you ever had a conference with Slud Disco about bad stuff you did? You mean like a recorded discussion, like at work? No. No. I think the only person who would have warranted one of them is Liam when he leaked some Tier 5 stuff a while ago. But he's the boss, so he can't really have a recorded discussion with himself. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for joining me. Next time, I think I'm probably going to leave it a few weeks until the next patch is out, because there's going to be a bunch of balance changes and fixes and additions in the next patch as well. So I'll do another stream after that, because there's going to be more stuff to talk about then. Alright, okay. Have a great evening. See you next time.